Welcome to In Exile. It's time for the worst House press briefing secretary of all time, Karine Jean-Pierre.
On the student loans case, the Supreme Court's going to hear tomorrow. Does the president believe there's a viable plan B if the court strikes down the plan? And more broadly, how is the administration preparing for that possibility?
The rich college student loan forgiveness program is going before the Supreme Court, and they're already saying, is there a plan B? Because the Supreme Court ain't going for it.
So, and I think I've said this before, we are very much confident in our legal authority here. That's why we've taken it. That's why the Department of Justice has taken it all the way to the Supreme Court.
But are you, an American, confident in their legal theory and the viability of what they propose with their economics? Because I'm not.
And so, again, we're confident in our legal authority. We're going to see what the Supreme Court decides.
Literally no legal authority. It is not for it's not a president, doesn't have the ability to forgive student loans, period. It is not going to go through because they have no legal authority. They have the legal authority to send the case up to the Supreme Court, but you ain't going to win.
But clearly the oral argument is happening tomorrow at 10 a.m. before the U.S. Supreme Court, so I'll leave that to the Department of Justice.
Leave it to the Department of Justice to say no.
But what we want to remind American people more broadly is how this program is going to give tens of millions of Americans across the country a little bit of a breathing room that you hear from the president, who says this a lot. That's part of his economic plan.
But enough about the legal authority. Let's get to all the money all you rich college kids are going to get for taking underwater basket weaving and making a huge mistake. We're going to give you free money. Let's talk about that. By the way, they're going to get to Social Security in a minute, so watch this.
On student loans, and also by doing this, giving American families a little bit of an opportunity to start a family.
When were Democrats ever pro starting a family?
And this process, it's unfortunate that Republicans, some Republicans officials across the country think differently.
She's upset that Republicans think differently. That's the problem with liberals, is they really hate when people think different. Remember when you grew up and you saw all those public service announcements and Apple would say, like, think different. Now they're like, thinking differently? We're not so into it.
They don't think that Americans need a little breathing room. They don't think that tens of millions of Americans who have gone through what we've gone through, this is kind of goes into all of the questions that I've been getting, right, about the our economic plan. Is it working?
It clearly is not working. Number two, Republicans just think you shouldn't be able to skate out on your loans. We don't think you should borrow money and then skip town.
What is it that we're doing?
They didn't say, what is it that you're doing? They're going, what are you doing?
This is all part of this, right? Giving the American people a little breathing room. And you have Republican officials who don't agree with this and who want to make it more difficult for Americans to get that relief.
If you want to give us relief, lower taxes. How about end the IRS? How about no taxes? There's some relief. You don't care about relief. You care about you're buying votes among college-age kids.
The president's going to put out a plan soon on Social Security. Senator Sanders would like to see an expansion of benefits. He'd like to see that paid through ending payroll taxes on higher income Americans. How does the president assess this, and does he think you could actually expand Social Security benefits while still strengthening the long-term viability?
Well, that's not going to happen. I only know that Bernie Sanders is a socialist, so he doesn't just want you to pay more payroll taxes. He wants you to pay everything, all of your income as payroll taxes, and the government will redistribute as needed.
So what I can say is, more broadly, the president has not endorsed a bill.
I can't imagine raising Social Security taxes is going to be very popular. But here we are in a fool's paradise. And we're surviving together here in Exile. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thanks for watching. I'm Doug in Exile.